Trapping in Jeet Kune Do for some reason is controversial, and here's why I still teach it. Really, it comes down to What's up, everybody? Ed from Metrolina Martial Arts, and today I want to talk to you about why I still teach trapping. There's two camps when it comes to Jeet Kune Do. One, we have the concepts branch, and two, we have the original Jeet Kune Do branch. And they're both, it's funny because both of them teach what Sijo Bruce taught, but they go about it intrinsically different. The original Jeet Kune Do only practiced that which Bruce Lee taught, but it's only a specific time period. Basically, the original Jeet Kune Do branch kind of stems off of Ted Wong. And Ted Wong, being one of Bruce Lee's private students and one of his best friends, has a very different outlook than what Dan Inosanto has with the Jeet Kune Do concepts group. Dan Inosanto, of course, was the highest ranked person in Jeet Kune Do from Bruce Lee himself. Also, basically taught for him at the Chinatown school. And yeah, he goes without saying that the Guru Dan was like top dog. But it doesn't say that Ted Wong wasn't there either. So it's like, that's the big debate. Who is the better friend? Dan Inosanto or Ted Wong to Bruce Lee? And you're literally, that's what you're arguing about, which is stupid. Stop it. You're not either of those people. You're not Bruce Lee. You don't know. So stop it. Good Lord. In the original Jeet Kune Do, they've done away with trapping, just as Sijo Bruce did towards the later part of his life when he realized trapping wouldn't work against someone like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar versus Bruce Lee, who's like 5'7", 5'8", and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is a giant. So yeah, it makes total sense why he would do away with that. He also did away with the Chi Sao. He did away with a lot of the kind of the Wing Chun element and did a lot more boxing. And it's kind of like towards that late stage Jeet Kune Do is more of a boxing and fencing hybrid. Where the concepts group, it was like, it kind of does a lot of the Jeet Kune Do from like 1967 to 1970 when the schools were open. It kind of still has a lot of that that Wing Chun flair. So, I am an unapologetic concepts guy, so I teach the Jeet Kune Do that I was taught by my instructor, Sifu Ron Balicki, who in turn is a full instructor under Dan Inosanto, who obviously we've already established who he was. So that's kind of my lineage and path. And, real quick, why does the concepts branch keep the trapping when the original JKD branch doesn't? That's up for debate, and it's constantly debated online. I'm not going to talk necessarily about that. That's for another video. This is why I still teach it. So the number one reason I still teach trapping is it's fun. Trapping in and of itself is not the most useful thing if you have that frame of mind. I think it's super fun to train. Even doing the static drills like the Lop Sao drill, the Pak Sao wedge drill, the Seung Pak Sao drill, Dan Chi Sao, I think all of that stuff is super fun. And I love training it. It's just super fun. But the caveat argument of it is that it doesn't really work. And while I agree it doesn't work in the way we train it in terms of like manifestation of technique, where we do the Lop Sao drill or we do the Pak Sao drill or Seung Pak drill, right? Hell, even Chi Sao and Dan Chi Sao. None of that manifests the way that it's trained. And I agree that that's not a good thing. But it is fun to train it, okay? Well, I'll get back into that part, the negative side here in a second. But it is fun to train. It looks cool, and it challenges the brain. You have a lot of variables, but yeah. But why it's like that comes to my number two reason, is it does work. Here's what it does. It creates attribute building. Now, again, I have caveats for it. The attributes that it builds are for moments in time. So for example, I use the Pak Sao a lot, but I don't use the Pak Sao as it's trained from the attachment to the Pak Sao. I use it more as like just a feel. And of course I parry and I split entry a lot. It works in that one simple trap. If you look at like Lomachenko, he has the Lop Sao. if you look at, oh, there's some guy that they keep mentioning. He was mentioned in my video with Rob from Combat Self-Defense. I can never remember his name, but he's a boxer, and he used trapping. And Lomachenko continues to use trapping. He uses the lop sow, he uses the pak sow. So, you know, those simple types of application work, and those attribute buildings that you get from doing that manifest when you train it. Also, I've been working a lot of my trapping in grappling range. Now, I hate the range discussion more than I think I should. I think it's just pedantic at this point. However, I do have a little bit of a system developing where I use simple traps and simple trapping theory in my grappling. If someone reaches up to grab my lapel, I use the toy sow here and grab my own. I use this a lot, especially in the gi, especially in guard. This is where I can kind of slow down and really start to work the trapping application. I will get the lop sow occasionally, and again, I'm not lop sowing to hit, because you can't hit in jiu-jitsu. The hit is there, but I'll lop sow and grab, or a lop sow and 2-on-1. There's a million ways to do it. Arm drag, lop sow, there's a million ways to do it, and it does manifest a lot in that grappling application. Next is foot traps. I think foot traps do work, especially in a kickboxing setting where you can step on the foot for a brief second. Obviously, foot stomps work in MMA. I'm not sure how effective they are in stopping the fight, but goddamn, they're annoying. Also, if you look at the dirty boxing or the boxing clinch, a lot of traps work in there. If you get super close to your partner here, shoulder to shoulder, and you start pushing into their side, there to use the shoulder bump here to the now sow or the hook or the jow sow or whatever the hell you want to hit there, that stuff works as well. I also teach it because of historical preservation. Now, I understand Cito Bruce was very much so about the daily decrease. Now, while I understand the daily decrease is important and not the daily increase where I have to build all of these skills just to throw them all away, we're working with a blank slate, and that blank slate kind of dictates that we need something in order to make a more efficient thing. And if that means we have to learn a bunch to throw it all away, I think that's the way to go. If you look at how a, I don't know the name of it, a sculpturist makes a sculpture, there's got to be a better word for that. A sculpturist makes a sculpture, he has to start with some clay so he can do away with it. If he didn't have any clay, I mean, he wouldn't have anything. So you daily decrease to nothing, you got nothing. And that's, I think, kind of like the caveat of taking such literal points to what Bruce said, or what anyone says, really. Piggybacking off of historical preservation, someone might actually be better than you that you teach or instruct, and they might be able to land it when you can't. So just because I can't get lop sows with my right hand, does that mean I shouldn't teach lop sows with my right hand? Just because I can't punch well with my right hand, does that mean I don't teach punches with the right hand? Just because I can't do a lot of things with the right hand, I can do a lot. Don't you make fun of the strong hand.
Woo, that's heavy. I better use my strong hand.
Doesn't mean that I shouldn't teach things with the right hand. Okay, let's get into some of the caveats on why trapping isn't great. Complex trapping doesn't exist. I made a whole video about this. It's a very short video. You can check it out in the card there. But I basically go into a little bit of detail on why complex trapping doesn't work, and I agree, it doesn't. In grappling, there might be better systems and strategies to applying quote-unquote trapping than the Jeet Kune Do Wing Chun method. I understand that, but it doesn't make it wrong to try to apply it. If I have previous training in it, why not try to plug it in to my jiu-jitsu? Makes sense, right? If I want to use center line theory, then I can do that. If I want to use the jut sound, the bong sound, and all that stuff, and find applications for it, why not? It's there. There might be better ways of training it, however. To piggyback on that last point, there might be a better use of your time. If you only have a limited amount of time in a dojo or training setting, then probably spending it doing the lop sao drill, the pak sao drill, and the seung pak, dan chi, and chi sao, or the praying mantis slash harmonious spring drill might not be the best use of your time. You should practice hitting the bag a couple rounds. You should practice with a partner for a couple rounds, and you should get some live application. If your time is limited, then thus your training must be very simplified. Again, not that there's anything wrong with that, just a different mindset. To conclude this, I know I went all over the place with it, but I think I got a lot of my points out on why I continue to teach trapping. Quick review, it's fun, it works, and historical preservation. Again, the caveats being that complex trapping doesn't work, which is different than simple trapping. There are better ways probably to apply it in grappling. Yeah, it's yet to be seen, and there might be a better use of time if you have limited time. remember, don't blame the art on your lame ass, to quote Ron Balicki directly, who is quoting somebody else.
Don't judge the art on your lame ass.
Just because you can't make the thing work doesn't mean the thing doesn't work. And that's a big thing that I think a lot of people get stuck on. If palm strikes don't work for you, Jake, that doesn't mean it doesn't work for everybody. But, I mean, you did use science behind it, so maybe you're right. You know, just because something doesn't work for you doesn't mean it wasn't work for somebody else. I want to kind of point out Sensei Seth and his spinning kicks. Just because I'm not good at landing spinning kicks doesn't mean that he can't be good at it. So if no one taught him spinning kicks because their instructors were bad at it, he would never know that he'd be that good at it. So I teach the trapping to kind of build on that. If maybe somebody's going to be better than me. I hope they are better than me. I hope they learn from my mistakes. That's why I'm a teacher. If you believe it doesn't work, then you're right. Like I was saying, don't blame the art for your lame ass. But if you're also in that thing where you don't believe that this move works, then you're correct. And if I can make it work, or if Sifu Ron can make it work, Guru Dan can make it work, Bruce Lee could make it work, chances are there's more than us four that can make it work. So I want you guys to like this video for the algorithm. It really helps me out. Leave a comment. Do you like trapping? Do you still teach trapping if you're an instructor? Do you like to train trapping? What's your favorite trapping thing that you like to train? Or do you hate trapping and think I'm stupid? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hit the bell notification so you never miss my or any other handsome face I have in the channel. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Party on.